understood love, not enough to make it stay. We learned the words too slowly. By the time you looked away, we knew how to hold each other, just not when it mattered most. We kept waiting for the right moment while love stood right next to us. I felt it in the way we paused, afraid to say too much. We were learning how to love in theory, but scared of what it asked of us. We almost understood love, almost knew what it required. We felt it deep, we meant it true, but alright, just slightly tired. We didn't lack emotion, we lacked the timing and the trust. We almost understood love, and almost wasn't enough. You were learning how to open up, I was learning how to stay. We kept switching who was ready, like love could wait its turn that way. We talked about forever softly, like you wouldn't hear our doubt. And every truth we didn't say found a way to slip back out. I told myself growth takes time, that love matures with pain, but love doesn't wait in the background for courage that comes too late. We almost understood love, somewhere between fear and hope. We held the feeling in our hands, but didn't know how tight to hold. We protected ourselves from breaking and broke it anyway. We almost understood love and watched it walk away. Maybe in another version of us, we listened when love spoke. We didn't overthink the moment or treat our hearts like jokes. I don't question what we felt or if it could have grown. I just wish we hadn't sooner what love's asking us to become. We almost understood love, and that truth still lingers near. Not as regret, not as blame, just a lesson we hold with care. Some loves don't fail from lack of feeling, they fade from learning too late. We almost understood love, and that's the part I'll always take. Some lessons arrive after love leaves, they stay, so the next love doesn't have to. You change in quiet ways, nothing loud enough to name. No sudden distance, no goodbye, just less of you. Each day the same. Your smile stayed polite and warm. Your voice still said my name, but something underneath your touch no longer felt the same. I felt it in the pauses, in the way you'd hesitate. Love doesn't always leave loudly, sometimes it rearranges its way. You changed in quiet ways, not enough for me to fight, just enough to feel alone beside you. Every night we didn't break, we didn't end, we just stopped feeling close. You changed in quiet ways, and I noticed before you spoke. Stop leaning into moments, started holding something back, like a feeling in the silence, trying to cover what we lacked. You listen but not deeply, like your heart was somewhere else. And I learned how to miss you while you were still myself. I told myself love changes shape, that comfort doesn't mean decay. But love shouldn't feel like guessing, we're slipping every day. You changed in quiet ways, somewhere between I'm fine and tired. I kept choosing to understand it while my heart felt slowly undesired. We stayed because it felt familiar, not because it felt right. You changed in quiet ways, and love lost its light. Maybe you didn't mean to drift, maybe life has more of you, but I needed honesty, emotion, love that slowly withdrew. I don't need loud declarations or reasons wrapped in pain. I just needed to feel your heart still choosing mine the same. You changed in quiet ways, and that's how I learned the truth. Love doesn't always shatter hearts, sometimes it gently moves. I remember us with softness, not anger, not regret, but I'll always trust the moment. You changed in quiet ways, and I felt it. Some goodbyes never speak, they whisper through small changes you feel before you understand. I loved you before you let go, before you looked away from me. Back when your hands still reach for mine, without thinking, without hesitating. I loved you when your heart was still here, even if it was already tired. I felt the shift inside your silence long before. You said you needed space to breathe before you called it something. noticed how your presence then, how love became something careful. It's strange how you can still be beside someone and feel like you're losing them slow. I loved you before you let go, when you were still half here with me. I held on to what we were becoming, while you were already learning how to leave. You didn't stop loving me loudly, you just stopped choosing to stay. I loved you before you let go, and that's the part that hurts me to say. You in the in-between, when nothing was clearly wrong. We still laughed like we meant it, but something inside us had quietly gone. You spoke softer, touched lighter, like love didn't want to ask for more. And I started missing you while you were still walking through the same door. I kept adjusting expectations so you wouldn't feel the weight. I thought if I loved you gently enough, you might remember how to stay. I told myself this was just a phase, that love changes shape sometimes, but love shouldn't feel like preparing for a goodbye that hasn't happened yet. In your mind, I loved you before you let go, before the distance found its name. I was still fighting for us quietly, while you were already letting go without blame. You didn't leave with broken words, you didn't shatter what we knew. I loved you before you let go, and I loved you all the way through. I remember the nights I stayed awake, listening to you breathe beside me, wondering when your heart decided it couldn't stay where mine was still trying. I would have stayed through confusion, through fear, through growing pains, but I couldn't stay inside a love where I was the only one, still choosing the same name. I waited for you to say it, to name what I already felt, but silence became your answer, and I had to love myself enough to hear it. I loved you before you let go, and I stayed longer than I should, not because I didn't see the ending, but because I believed in us. For as long as I could, you found peace in letting go gently. I found truth in learning to move. I loved you before you let go, and now I'm learning how to love me too. safe with us. Even when we were close, I was always choosing my words, afraid of saying too much or not enough, afraid of losing you. Just by being honest, you listen, but carefully, like truth might break something fragile. And I learned how to hold my feelings in my chest until they hurt less than being misunderstood. I felt it in the way we paused before saying what we meant. When love stops feeling safe, silence becomes a kind of defense. Love didn't feel safe with us, it felt like walking on glass. I kept protecting your feelings while quietly breaking my own in half. We didn't shout, we didn't fight, we just learned how to hide. Love didn't feel safe with us, and something inside me slowly died. You held me, but not completely, like you were ready to pull away. Your touch felt careful, measured like love needed rules just to stay. I stopped asking for reassurance, you stopped offering it too. And we called it being mature, when really we were scared of what truth would do. I felt lonelier beside you than I ever did alone, because love shouldn't feel like guessing if your heart is still home. I told myself love isn't easy, that safety comes with time, but love shouldn't feel like survival or something you have to justify. Love didn't feel safe with us, somewhere between fear and care. We stayed polite, we stayed quiet, but never fully there. We chose peace over honesty, silence over repair. Love didn't feel safe with us, and neither of us knew how to say it out loud. I remember wanting to be softer, not because I was wrong, but because love felt conditional, like I had to earn my place all along. You avoided difficult conversations, I avoided asking to be held, and slowly we became two people protecting ourselves from each other instead of the world. I waited for the moment where we finally rest, but love can't breathe in guarded rooms where hearts wear armor on their chest. Maybe we both carried old wounds, brought them into something new. I don't blame you for being afraid, I just wish you had chosen me too. I didn't need perfect love or promises carved in stone. I just needed to feel safe, being fully myself and not alone. Love didn't feel safe with us, and that's why it couldn't not fast, not cruel, just sure. Like you already knew the ending, while I was still trying to make sense of the middle. You said you needed time. I thought that meant time together. I didn't realize you were already using that space to leave forever. I stayed where we last felt close, where your name still felt safe to say. I believed waiting was love, and love would reward those who stayed. I felt the ground change under us before I saw you move. It's strange how one heart can be walking while the other is still asking what to do. You walked while I waited, and I didn't know that was goodbye. You were learning how to move forward. I was still looking you in the eye. We didn't end with honesty, we ended with time. You walked while I waited, and I was the last to realize. Your replies grew lighter, like you didn't wanna leave a mark. You spoke with care, with kindness, but never with the weight of heart. I kept saving my questions, didn't wanna slow you down. I thought love meant not asking for reassurance when someone looks away. I watched you build a life ahead while I stood where we had been. I didn't know standing still that long could feel like slowly losing my skin. I told myself patience was strength, that love waits without fear, that love shouldn't feel like watching someone leave while you're still right here. You walked while I waited, somewhere between soon and someday. You stopped looking back for me long before I stopped hoping you'd stay. I called it faith, I called it trust. You called it needing space. And you walked while I waited, and time chose your pace. I remember the nights I stayed awake, listening for signs you were still mine. Every silence felt heavier, because I kept believing waiting was a form of love. You never told me to stop waiting, you just never came back. And I had to learn how abandonment can sound gentle when it's wrapped in kindness. I wish I had known sooner that waiting doesn't make someone stay. It just teaches your heart how to break quietly without complaint. I waited for clarity, you waited for distance, and somewhere between those two things we lost the chance to speak honestly. Maybe you didn't mean to leave me behind, maybe you thought I'd catch up somehow. But love shouldn't feel like standing still while someone else figures it out. I didn't need promises or forever spoken aloud. I just needed to know if I was still worth waiting for. To you too, you walked while I waited, and now I finally see distant side by side, still sharing morning, sharing space. Your coffee cool beside my head, but your thoughts were somewhere else. We talked about ordinary things, plans that didn't need the truth, and I learned how to listen without knowing if you were still listening too. Your laughter stayed familiar, but it didn't reach your eyes, and I felt the distance growing in the moments we called fine. I felt it in the quiet pauses, the seconds we didn't feel. Love doesn't leave by walking out, sometimes it leaves by standing still. We grew distant, side by side, still close enough to touch. But closeness doesn't mean connection when hearts stop reaching as much. We didn't break, we didn't fall, we just stopped feeling near. We grew distant, side by side, and that was harder than disappearing. You stopped telling me your worries, I stopped asking what was wrong. We learned how to protect the peace by pretending nothing was gone. Your touch felt gentle but distracted, like love was something else to do. And I started missing the version of you who didn't hesitate to choose me too. I kept adjusting my expectations, lower my voice, soften my need, because loving you began to feel like asking for too much of me. I told myself love grows quieter, that comfort doesn't need a sound, but love shouldn't feel like two people slowly turning away while staying around. We grew distant, side by side, somewhere between habit and care. We stayed out of familiarity, not because we were still there. We smiled through unfinished conversations, ignored what we both feared. We grew distant, side by side, and no one ever disappeared. I remember when being next to you felt like coming home. Now it felt like sharing a room with someone I almost knew. I could feel you pulling inward, not away, just far, like your heart was learning how to be alone while mine was still ours. Some nights I wanted to scream the truth, other nights I stayed quiet instead, because saying it out loud meant admitting something was already dead. I waited for you to feel it too, to name what I already knew, but silence became our agreement, and distance learned how to live between me and you. Or maybe we didn't fail each other, maybe love just lost its voice, but I needed to feel chosen daily, not assumed by default or by choice. I didn't need more time or space or patience to prove I'd stay. I just needed you to meet me where my heart was that day. We grew distant, side by side, and that's how it quietly ended. Not with goodbyes or broken trust, just a bond left unattended. I remember us with honesty, not anger, not regret, but I'll always know the moment we grew distant, side by side. the same way again. I gave you more than you asked, more than you ever promised to hold. I showed up in the quiet moments when loving you started to feel cold. You never begged for my patience, never asked me to stay so long. But I thought love meant giving freely, even when something felt wrong. I filled the gaps you didn't see, answered questions you never raised. I loved you in advance, in silence, in ways you didn't know how to name. I noticed how you grew comfortable with all that I would do. It's strange how love can slowly turn into something expected, not chosen by you. I gave you more than you asked, more than you knew how to take. I carried the weight of both our hearts just to keep us awake. You leaned on my devotion, I leaned on hope alone. I gave you more than you asked, and somehow ended up giving myself away. I learned how to read your silences, translate what you wouldn't say. I lowered my knees without telling you, so you wouldn't feel pressure to stay. You accepted love the way it came, never questioned what it cost. And I kept paying quietly for a connection already lost. I mistook your calm for care, your absence for trust. I told myself love shouldn't keep score, even when it was only me giving us. I caught my effort understanding, caught my pain, just how love goes. But love shouldn't feel like proving your worth to someone who already knows. I gave you more than you asked, somewhere between devotion and fear. I kept choosing us all out while you were barely choosing to be here. We didn't argue about effort, we just let imbalance grow. I gave you more than you asked, and you let me do it alone. I remember the nights I waited, not for words, just a sign, something to tell me I matter, the way you matter to mine. You never meant to drain me, you just never learned to give. And I didn't stop offering love until I forgot how to live inside it. There's a quiet kind of heartbreak that comes from being enough, but never being met halfway, never being asked to be loved back as much. I stayed because I believe love would balance itself in time, but love doesn't correct imbalance when only one heart is trying. Maybe giving more feels safer than asking for what I need. Maybe I was afraid that if I asked you'd see how little you wanted to give me. I don't blame you for taking comfort or resting where I stood. I just wish I had learned sooner that love shouldn't require you to give more than you should. I gave you more than you asked, until there was nothing left to give. Not because I didn't love you, but because I forgot I had to live out love again with open hands, not reaching past my truth. I gave you more than you asked, and now I'm learning to give myself back to. fading first. Before the love ever left the room, you still said all the right things, but stopped asking if I was okay too. You remember dates and plans, but forgot how my eyes looked tired. You stay close out of routine, not out of wanting, not out of fire. I felt it in the smallest changes, in the way concern grew thin, like love was still present but care was already giving in. I noticed how my silence stopped worrying you at all. It's painful when someone loves you but no longer feels the need to check if you're about to fall. Your care faded first, before the distance had a name. You stopped reaching when I went quiet, stopped noticing when I changed. We didn't fight, we didn't end, we just slowly lost the thread. Your care faded first, and love followed after that. You listened, but only halfway, like my words were something familiar. You assumed I'd always be okay, because I had been for so long before. I learned how to hold my hurt softly, so it wouldn't interrupt your day. I didn't want to be another problem you had to carry or explain away. Turned into politeness, your warmth into something kind, and I started missing the version of you who noticed me without being reminded. I told myself care comes and goes, that love doesn't always show, but love shouldn't feel like being invisible to someone who once knew every part of you so well. Somewhere between busy and tired, I became someone easy to have, not someone you still desire to understand. We stayed connected in name only, smiled through what we never said. Your care faded first, and I felt it long before you left. Didn't feel enough. Now you accepted my I'm fine, like it was truth, like it was a love I didn't need fixing or saving, just presence that stayed aware. But you stopped checking in on my heart, and I stopped believing you were still there. There's a quiet grief in realizing someone still loves you, just not carefully anymore. I waited for you to notice the change, to ask what had shifted in me. But caring isn't loud when it leaves, it simply stops asking and lets you be. Maybe you didn't mean to drift away, maybe life just pulled you fast. But love doesn't survive on memory of how someone used to care in the past. I didn't want grand gestures or constant proof, I just needed to feel like my feelings still mattered to you, still moved you. Your care faded first, and that's where it began to break. Not because you stopped loving me, but because you stopped noticing what it took for me to stay. I remember us without anger, without blame, without regret, but I'll always trust the truth I felt when your care faded first, and I had to protect what was left of me. Some loves don't end when love disappears. They end when care quietly leaves and the heart learns it has been alone for longer than it realized. We stopped choosing each other without ever saying why. Still sharing meals, still sharing space, but never really looking into each other's eyes. You chose peace, I chose patience, both hoping it would pass. But love doesn't survive when hoping whenever lies only in the past. I felt it when your voice changed, not cold, just less involved. Like loving me became optional, something you no longer saw. I noticed how I stopped feeling urgent, like it could wait its turn. It's strange how love can fade quietly when no one's brave enough to return. We stopped choosing each other, not loudly, not in a fight, just in the small decisions we didn't make each night. We didn't fall out of love at once, we just let the choosing go. We stopped choosing each other, and love followed slow. Stopped asking what I needed, I stopped telling you the truth. We learned how to keep the balance by pretending we were still choosing us two. Your touch felt familiar, not intentional, like something done from habit now. And I started missing the way you held me, when it meant I'm here, not just around. I trusted myself to stay easy, so loving me wouldn't feel like work. But love shouldn't require you to disappear just to be worth it. I told myself love doesn't need effort, that comfort means we're safe. But love isn't comfort without care, it's presence that still shows up each day. We stopped choosing each other, somewhere between tired and busy. We stopped showing up on purpose, stopped asking, are you still with me? We stayed out of familiarity, left honesty behind. We stopped choosing each other and crossed an invisible line. I remember when choosing you felt natural, like breathing without thinking twice. Now it felt like something I did alone, like loyalty was my sacrifice. You didn't mean to leave me behind, you just stopped meeting me there. And I learned how abandonment can feel gentle when it's wrapped in care. something we both did. Maybe we didn't stop loving each other. Maybe love just stopped being enough. I didn't need perfection or forever. I just needed to feel chosen, still enough. I needed to know that when things got heavy, you wouldn't step aside. That you would choose me in the moments where love asks you to stay and try. We stopped choosing each other, and that's how it quietly broke. Now with anger, not with blame, just two hearts no longer saying I choose you out loud. I'll forgive us for not knowing sooner, for letting effort fade. But I'll always remember the moment we stopped choosing each other and love slipped away. Some loves don't end with goodbye. They end when choosing each other stops being a choice anyone makes anymore. I felt that goodbye too early, before you ever said a word. Lived in the pauses between us, in the way you listened, I never really heard. You were still holding my hand, still calling me at night. But something in your presence had already started saying goodbye. I couldn't explain the feeling, just the weight I carried inside. Like loving you suddenly meant preparing myself to lose you quietly. I noticed how you stopped leaning in, how your heart stayed a step away. It's strange how the body knows the truth before the mind finds words to say. I felt the goodbye too early while we were still okay. I was grieving us in silence while you were still asking me to stay. You talked about the future lightly, like it didn't include my name. I smiled through the uncertainty, telling myself I was overthinking again. I started memorizing moments, the way you laughed, the way you sighed, as if my heart was already saving memories before they disappeared from my life. I loved you with a quiet fear, not loud enough to show. Afraid if I named what I was feeling, you'd realize you were already ready to go. I call my instinct insecurity, call my tears unnecessary. But love doesn't make you feel like this when both hearts are still choosing to be there willingly. I felt a goodbye too early in the middle of where fine. You were living in the present, I was already losing you in my mind. I stayed so stopped asking deeper questions. I stopped offering real answers. We learned how to protect the moment by avoiding what came after. I remember lying next to you, listening to the quiet grow, wondering how someone can be so close and already so far from home. I wanted to be wrong so badly, wanted fear to let me be, but the heart doesn't imagine endings without being taught by reality. I waited for reassurance that never really came, and silence slowly confirmed what my heart already felt and couldn't name. Maybe I sensed the moment you stopped fighting to stay. Maybe love whispered a warning before it slipped away. I didn't want to rush the ending or turn instance into blame. I just wanted to feel safe again, instead of always bracing for pain. I felt the goodbye too early, and that's how it hurt the most. Now when you finally let me go, but when I loved you, knowing I was already losing you close, I stayed until it was spoken, but my heart had already known. I felt the goodbye too early, and I had been grieving on. Some goodbyes arrive quietly, they live inside you long before anyone else is ready to say them out loud. Love became a question I didn't know how to ask. I used to feel sure in your help, but now I'm wondering if I'm asking for too much. We still sit close in the evenings, still share the shape of our days, but everything I feel inside comes with a pause, comes with doubt, comes with maybe. I remember when love felt simple, when your eyes answered first. Now I read between every silence, afraid the truth will hurt worse. I noticed how certainty left quietly, without warning, without sound. When love stops feeling like an answer, you start questioning everything around. Love became a question, not a place I could rest. I kept asking myself in silence if I mattered, if I was still your choice, if I was enough. We didn't fall apart suddenly, we just stopped being sure. Love became a question, and I didn't know what the answer was anymore. You stopped saying things without thinking. I stopped trusting what I felt. Every moment needed proof now, every word needed help. I used to believe your touch about the one you're supposed to feel safe with. Here love became a question, somewhere between hope and fear. I started asking quietly if you were still here, if I was still seen, if this was still real. We didn't lose feeling overnight, we lost the certainty first. Love became a question, and uncertainty was the thing that hurt. I remember when choosing you felt natural, like breathing without thought. Now every choice feels careful, like loving you requires too much thought. I don't ask for reassurance anymore, I'm afraid of what you say, because questions feel safer unanswered than hearing you've already drifted away. Some nights I lie beside you, feeling further than before, wondering how love can be this close and still feel unsure. I waited for love to feel solid again, to land somewhere secure, but love can't grow where doubt lives, and hearts are never sure. Maybe love didn't disappear, maybe we just lost trust in it. I didn't need guarantees or vows, I just needed to feel chosen again. I question, I miss when love felt like an answer, not something I had to prove. When loving you didn't come with fear of losing you just by being true. Love became a question, and that's when it started to fade. Not because we didn't care enough, but because we stopped knowing how to stay without doubting every step we made. I'll forgive us for the uncertainty, for not knowing what to do, but I'll always remember the moment love became a question. You. Some loves don't end with goodbye, they end when love stops feeling like an answer and becomes a question. You're too afraid to ask out loud. You were somewhere else already, even when you sat next to me. Your eyes were here, your hands were warm, but your mind was learning how to leave. You still asked how my day had been, still kissed me goodnight, but it felt like muscle memory, like love was no longer alive. I started noticing the pauses, the way you drifted mid-sentence, like your heart had packed its bags before your body ever left the room. I felt the absence before the distance, before there was space to name. It's strange how someone can still be here and already be gone in quiet ways. You were somewhere else already, while I was still right here. was trying to hold us together. You were learning how not to need me near. We didn't break, we didn't end. You just slowly let me go. You were somewhere else already, and I was the last to know. You listened, but without curiosity, like my words had lost their way. You nodded, smiled, said the right things, but your heart never stayed. I stopped telling you my fears, you stopped noticing my silence, and we called it being okay, when really we were avoiding the truth. I kept loving you in real time, while you were living ahead, planning a version of your life that didn't include what we had said. I told myself I was imagining it, that love just grows quiet with time. But love doesn't feel like talking to someone who's already crossed the line in their mind. You were somewhere else already, somewhere I couldn't follow you. You stopped reaching without warning, stopped choosing what we used to do. I stayed present, stayed hopeful, you stayed kind but far. You were somewhere else already, and that distance broke my heart. Oh, I remember the moment it hit me, not in anger, not in pain, just a quiet understanding that I was loving someone who wasn't staying. You never told me you were leaving, you didn't have to say it out loud. Your absence spoke through your calmness, through the way you stopped fighting for us. Some nights I lay beside you, feeling like I was alone, because loving someone who's not fully there is lonelier than being on your own. I waited for reassurance, for something solid to hold, but silence kept answering me in ways I didn't want to know. Maybe you didn't mean to leave me before you ever walked away. Maybe you thought staying quiet would make it hurt less someday. I don't blame you for moving forward, for finding where you belong. I just wish you hadn't stayed with me while your heart was already gone. You were somewhere else already, and I stayed longer than I should. Not because I didn't see the truth, but because I loved you as long as I could. I'll forgive myself for hoping, for believing you'd come back, but I'll always remember the moment I realized you were already somewhere else, and I was loving an echo of what we had. Some goodbyes don't arrive with footsteps, they happen when someone's heart leaves first, and you're left loving what's already gone. I stayed for what we were, not for what we had become. Stayed for the version of you that used to reach for me without thinking. without holding back. You were still here in the room, still saying my name the same, but loving you started to feel like talking to a memory that wouldn't answer me anymore. I kept believing if I stayed long enough, you'd remember who we used to be. I didn't realize I was the only one still visiting that place. I felt the difference every morning in the way you woke up distant. Love doesn't disappear suddenly, it fades when the present can't compete with the past. I stayed for what we were, not for how it felt to stay. I stayed for the laughter we used to share, not for the silence we lived in every day. We didn't break, we didn't fall, we just stopped being there. I stayed for what we were and forgot what I deserved. I stayed because leaving felt like betrayal, like giving up on something real. Even when loving you felt heavy, I told myself this pain meant something. You stopped choosing me in the present, I kept choosing us in the past. And I learned how dangerous memory can be when it becomes the only reason you're still holding on. I lowered my expectations quietly so you wouldn't feel my disappointment. But love shouldn't require shrinking yourself just to keep someone comfortable. I told myself this was just a season, that love goes quiet sometimes, but love shouldn't feel like survival while you're waiting for someone to return to who they were. I stayed for what we are, somewhere between hope and denial. I loved you for the person you used to be, while standing beside someone who had already changed. We shared a history, not a future, shared a space, not a heart, and slowly fell apart. I remember when staying felt easy, when choosing you felt natural. Now it felt like something I did alone, like loyalty had become my burden. I stayed through the quiet goodbyes, through the nights you weren't really there, because admitting it was over meant a minute. I had been alone longer than I thought. Some nights I stared at the ceiling, wondered when love stopped feeling alive, and why I kept holding on to a ghost instead of listening to my own heart asking me to survive. I waited for you to meet me again, to show up like before, but you can't rebuild a present when someone is already living somewhere else in their heart. Maybe staying felt safer than leaving, because leaving meant letting go of the best parts of my life. I didn't want to lose the memories, so I kept sacrificing myself. But love isn't supposed to cost you your voice, your peace, your sense of worth. I wasn't afraid of being alone, I was afraid of losing who we were. But who we were was no longer here to save me. I stayed for where we were until staying hurt more than goodbye. Not because I didn't love you, but because I finally loved myself old enough to see I was living in the past. I'll carry the good with gratitude, not bitterness, not regret, but I won't stay. Won't live on losing what we were and not what we are. Some people stay for memories until they realize memories can't hold you, can't love you back, and can't become the future you deserve. We didn't listen enough, even when we talked all night. Your words landed on my ears, but never really reached inside. I was waiting to be understood, you were waiting to be right. And somewhere between those two things, love learned how to hide. You told me what you needed, I heard it, but not the fear. I spoke from where I was hurting. You listened, but not from here. I felt it in the pauses when we rushed to reply. Listening isn't waiting for your turn, it's staying long enough to hear what's behind the line. We didn't listen enough, even when we tried so hard. We heard the words, missed the meaning, missed the heart behind the guard. We didn't fight, we didn't scream, we just misunderstood. We didn't listen enough, and love slipped through. You spoke in calm explanations, I spoke in quiet pain. We kept translating each other into something that felt safer to explain. I asked for reassurance, you offered solutions instead. You tried to fix what I was feeling when I just needed you to sit with it. We talked about the same things twice, but never the same way. Because hearing isn't the same as listening when empathy is late. I told myself communication was there, the words meant we were close. But love doesn't grow from speaking more, it grows from hearing what's almost spoken. We didn't listen enough, somewhere between offense and pride. We protected our own stories instead of letting the other one inside. We stayed polite, we stayed aware, but never fully stood still. We didn't listen enough, and silence filled the space we did. I felt unseen, even while you nodded your head. You remember moments you felt unheard, even when I said I cared. We both left conversations thinking the other one didn't try, not knowing we were both exhausted from speaking instead of listening. Why? Some nights I wanted you to hear my tone, not just the words I chose. Some nights you needed me to listen without correcting, without closing the door. I waited for the moment when we finally slow it down. But love can't speak clearly when no one's listening without preparing a counter sound. Maybe we were afraid of what we hear if we truly listened deep. Maybe it was easier to respond okay. You just needed to feel like your heart had room to say what it needed to say. We didn't listen enough, and that's how it slowly broke. Not from lack of love or effort, but from the moments we talked past each other instead of close. I'll forgive us for the noise, for the things we misunderstood, but I'll always remember the lesson that love needs tears as much as it needs words. Some loves don't end, 'cause no one's told, and because no one listened long enough to truly hear. Your love lost its way. It stopped grounding me. Your words still sounded kind, but they didn't hold me anymore. You said I care the same way, but it landed differently. Like something repeated from heaven, not something you felt in your chest. I started carrying the meaning alone, putting feeling behind what you said. Because loving you meant translating what no longer came naturally. I felt it when reassurance stopped coming. My heart, love shouldn't feel like guessing which parts don't matter and which ones don't. Your love lost its way, even though it never left, you stayed. But your presence didn't feel like something I could rest in anymore. We didn't break, we didn't fall, we just grew emotionally light. Your love lost its way, and I felt it every night. You listened, but without depth, like my feelings were already known. You assumed I'd be okay again, because I always have been before. I stopped asking for more from you, not because I didn't need it, but because needing you started to feel like asking for something you couldn't give. Your care became polite, your affection careful and brief, and I began missing the gravity that once made your love feel real to me. I told myself love doesn't have to be heavy, that calm can still be true. But love shouldn't feel so light that it drifts away the moment you need it to hold you. Your love lost its way, somewhere between comfort and distance. You were here but not anchored, and I was the only one holding the balance. But your love had stopped being solid, stopped feeling like a place I could lean into. Some nights I wondered if I was asking too much or just asking the wrong person. Because love shouldn't feel like this, like it disappears when you try to feel it fully. I waited for your love to feel heavy again, to land the way it used to. But love doesn't regain its weight when only one heart is trying to make it true. Maybe love isn't meant to feel heavy, but it should feel real. I didn't need intensity or drama, I just needed something I could feel. I needed to know that if I fell apart, your love wouldn't float away, that it would stay grounded with me, not drip when things got hard. Your love lost its way, and that's when I understood. Not every love that stays quiet is gentle. Some just stop holding you. I remember us without anger, without blame, without regret. But I'll always trust the moment your love lost its way, and I had to let go. To protect myself. Some loves don't disappear, they just become too light to hold you anymore. I loved you more than myself. Before I knew what that would cost, I made room for all your needs and quietly let mine get lost. I learned your moves by heart, adjusted every part of me. I call it compromise, not noticing I was disappearing slowly. You never asked me to give this much, I just thought that's what love meant. Putting you first every time until my own voice was barely present. I felt it in the moments I stayed quiet just to keep the peace. Love shouldn't require silence to survive. I'll make it smaller just to stay. I loved you more than myself, more than was fair or kind. I chose your comfort over my truth. Every single time you stayed steady in what you needed, I've been until I felt undone. I loved you more than myself, and that's where started to come undone. I stopped asking for reassurance, afraid it'd feel like too much. I softened every sharp feeling so your world wouldn't shake from my touch. I believe loving deeply meant enduring and staying even when it hurt. I mistook devotion for erasure and loyalty for putting myself last. You leaned on me when you were unsure. I held you when you fell apart, but no one was holding me when loving you became the hardest part. I told myself love is selfless, the giving proves it's real. But love shouldn't cost you yourself just to prove what you feel. I loved you more than myself, somewhere between voice inside my ear. You took what I offered freely. I gave without knowing when to stop. I loved you more than myself and forgot I was worth loving too. I remember moments I felt invisible, standing right beside you there. I was present in every way, but somehow still alone. I carried the emotion away for two, smiled when my heart felt thin, because I believed if I stayed strong enough, love would eventually balance again. But love doesn't balance itself when one heart keeps bending low. It just teaches the other one how much it can take without giving more. I waited for you to notice the shift, to ask me if I was okay, but I trained you without meaning to, that my needs could always wait. Maybe I loved you the only way I knew how, from a place that feared being left. Maybe I thought if I gave you everything, you'd never choose anyone else. I don't blame you for taking comfort or for resting where I stood. I just wish I had learned sooner that love shouldn't ask you to give up who you are to be good. I loved you more than myself until loving you heard my name. Not because you were unlovable, but because I forgot I deserve the same care. I'll love again with boundaries, with space for my own heart too. I loved you more than myself, and now I'm learning how to love me as deeply as I loved you. Some loves don't end because the feeling dies, they end when one person gives everything and finally realize it, they left nothing for themselves. We didn't heal together, even when we stayed the same. We shared the weight of wounds, but carried them in different ways. You wanted space to breathe again, I wanted closeness to survive. We stood in the same storm of pain, but learned to face it from opposite sides. I try to talk about the cracks, you try to make them small, and somewhere in that difference we stopped meeting at the same place at all. I felt it when my healing scared you, and your silence slowed mine down. It's hard to mend a heart together when you're not hurting in the same way at the same time. We didn't heal together, and that's where it fell apart. You were learning how to let go, I was learning how to hold on harder. We didn't fail from lack of love, we failed from different needs. We didn't heal together, and love couldn't bridge that space between. to feel protected. I kept knocking just to feel close to you. I watched you grow lighter each day while I was still unpacking pain. And I started feeling guilty for healing slower, for not being where you were already standing. I softened my questions for you, swallowed tears before they showed. Because loving you felt like I had to heal on your timeline or be left behind. I told myself healing isn't linear, that love is patient with the pace. But love shouldn't feel like one heart racing forward while the other is still trying to stand up straight. We didn't heal together, somewhere between patience and fear. You found peace in moving forward, I was still trying to stay here. We held each other with good intentions, but never with the same hands. We didn't heal together, and love slipped through what we couldn't understand. I remember nights I needed comfort when you needed distance instead. We kept misreading each other's pain, calling it love when it was just exhaustion. You said you needed time alone, I heard I'm leaving slowly. I asked for reassurance, you heard pressure, and neither of us was wrong, just wounded differently. I wanted us to grow side by side. You wanted to grow apart, not because you didn't care, but because that's how you knew how to protect your heart. I waited for our healing to align, for the moment we both be okay. But healing doesn't pause itself to wait for love, if love can't wait the same way. Maybe we needed different things at the same exact time. Maybe love isn't enough when healing pulls two hearts in opposite directions. I don't blame you for choosing peace or myself for needing more. I just wish healing hadn't made us feel like strangers in a place we once called home. We didn't heal together, and that's the truth I keep. Not as anger, not as regret, just as something I finally accept in me. Some love stories don't end in betrayal, they end in time and in pain. We didn't heal together, and loving each other wasn't enough to make us whole the same way. Some hearts don't break each other, they just heal at different speeds and learn too late that love can't always wait for peace. Love left quiet footprints across the floor we shared. Nothing broken, nothing missing, just spaces where you used to care. Your cup still waits beside the sink, your jacket on the chair. It's strange how absence can feel warm when memories are still there. We didn't say a final word, didn't promise to remain. Love just slipped out softly, like it didn't want to cause us pain. I felt it in the stillness, in the air that didn't move. Some goodbyes don't ask permission, they leave before you choose. Love left quiet footprints, not loud enough to chase. It didn't tear the room apart, just changed the shape of space. We didn't fall, we didn't break, we just stopped walking side by side. Love left quiet footprints, and I found them every night. Your voice still lives in small things and songs we never finished. I hear you when the evening comes, in the calm we used to share. I kept expecting you to return, not fully gone, just late. But love doesn't circle back when hearts have already changed. I learned how to step carefully, like the floor might remember you, because every place we ever stood still feels like something we once knew. I told myself love ends loudly with words that make it clear, but sometimes love just fades away and leaves its echo here. Love left quiet footprints somewhere between then and now. We stopped reaching for the future without knowing exactly how. We stayed kind, we stayed gentle, even when we let it die. Love left quiet footprints and never said goodbye. I remember the way you looked at me when love was still at rest. Now I hold that version softly, like something I don't need to question. You didn't take my heart with you, you didn't leave me empty. You just left behind a silence that learned how to walk with me. Some nights I swear I feel you near, not close, but not far. Like love didn't disappear, it just stopped being ours. Oh, I waited for closure for a reason I could say, but love doesn't always explain itself when it chooses to walk away. Maybe this is how love ends, when no one's at fault, no anger, no betrayal, just two hearts that couldn't hold what they once called home. I don't regret the love we had or the time we let it stay. I just wish I'd known sooner that love can leave gently and still change everything. Love left quiet footprints, and I learned to follow none. I let them fade with time and rain till the ground felt strong again. I'll carry us with gratitude, not sorrow, not blame. Love left quiet footprints, but it taught me how to walk on my own again. Some loves don't close their door, they step away softly, leaving just enough behind to remind you they were real. I remember us without regret, not because it didn't hurt, but because loving you was honest. Even when we didn't know how to make it work, we tried with the hearts we had then, not the ones we needed to grow. And I don't blame us for not knowing what only time could show. I still see us in simple moments, laughing at nothing at all, not as a mistake I replay, but as a chapter that helped me become who I am now. I stopped rewriting the ending, stopped asking who was to blame. Some loves aren't meant to last forever, they're meant to change you gently and leave you kinder than before. I remember us without regret, without anger, without shame. We loved the best way we could then, even if we didn't stay the same. We didn't fail, we just outgrew the place we met back then. I remember us without regret, and I'm at peace with how it ended. Oh, I don't hold on to every promise or the nights we couldn't sleep. I let the memories breathe on their own without asking them to hurt me. You were real to me, I was real too, even when we were afraid. And there's no shame in loving deeply if it taught you how to be brave. I don't wish we were different, or that we tried one more time. Some connections serve their purpose exactly when they arrive. I used to think closure meant answers, words wrapped up neatly in truth. But closure can be as quiet as acceptance, as simple as letting love rest where it belongs. I remember us without regret, somewhere between then and now. Not everything that ends is broken, not everything needs to be fixed. Somehow we shared a season, not a lifetime, and that's still worth holding dear. I remember us without regret, without wishing you were still here. There was a time I missed you painfully when letting go felt wrong, but healing taught me how to carry love without letting it weigh me down. I learned how to forgive the silence, the moments we didn't understand, not because they didn't matter, but because they don't need to follow me anymore. Now when I think of you, I smile softly, not with longing, not with ache, just gratitude for a love that didn't last forever, but was real while it stayed. I no longer measure love by endings or judge it by how long it remained. Some love stories are complete simply because they happen. Maybe this is what healing looks like, not forgetting, not pretending, just holding the memory gently and letting it stop hurting. I don't need to make us wrong to feel okay today. I can honor where we were and still walk my own way. I remember us without regret, and that's how I know I've grown. Love doesn't need to leave a scar to prove it once felt like home. I'll carry the good with gratitude, leave the rest where it belongs. I remember us without regret, and I finally feel strong. Some loves don't return, they become a quiet place in your heart, where pain no longer lives, only understanding. I love again when it's gentle, not when it asks me to bleed. I've learned the sound of my own heart and how to hear what it needs. I don't rush the feeling back, I don't chase what used to be. I'm letting silence teach me what peace actually means to me. I've been loud in love before, I've been brave to the bone, but I don't wanna fight for closeness with someone who makes love feel like I'm alone. I'm not afraid of loving deeply, I'm afraid of losing myself. Love shouldn't feel like a storm you survive just to say you stay. I'll love again when it's gentle, when my heart doesn't brace, when love feels like a soft place I can rest. Not a test I have to face, I won't confuse intensity for care or pain for something too. I learned how to sit with quiet, how not to fill every space. I don't need someone to complete me, I need someone who meets me in the same place. I don't want love that rushes or promises it can't keep. I want love that moves slowly and stays when things aren't easy. I want words that don't confuse me, touch that doesn't disappear, love that doesn't ask me to shrink just to feel like I'm welcome here. I used to think love meant effort, meant giving more every day, and now I know love can be steady without asking you to give yourself away. I'll love again when it's gentle, when my boundaries feel safe, when honesty doesn't scare anyone, and silence doesn't mean we're pulling away. I won't build from unfinished wounds or call fear chemistry. I love again when it's gentle, when love feels easy to be. I remember loving through chaos, calling it passion and fate. I remember apologizing for needs that were never too much to state. I don't want love that keeps score, leaves me guessing at night. I want love that feels consistent, that stays without needing to be right. I want mornings that feel calm, even when life gets loud. A love that holds space for both of us without turning connection into a battleground. I've made peace with the waiting, with not knowing who I'll meet. I trust love will recognize me when it arrives gently at my feet. Maybe loving gently is the bravest thing after learning how love can hurt. Maybe strength is choosing softness now, not proving what you can endure. I don't need fireworks or forever, just truth that doesn't run, a love that doesn't disappear the moment things feel heavy. I wanna feel safe being myself, not impressive, not strong, just seen, just held, just chosen, without having to perform. We're being. I'll love again when it's gentle, when my heart can open slow, when love feels like understanding, not something I have to outgrow. I'll bring my whole self without fear, without armor, without doubt. I'll love again when it's gentle, when love knows how to stay soft, still choose me. Some hearts don't close forever, they rest, and when love returns gently, it won't feel like falling, it will feel like coming.